Are you trying Beyond Good and Evil for the first time in a while? Or maybe for the first time ever? Hello, fellow space monkeys. This is the mildly morose man, otherwise known as Dan or Dan the Man, whichever you fancy. I am here to bring you another thought-provoking video on the video game Beyond Good and Evil. Be sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all things BG&E and BG&E 2. So let's get right into some helpful tips about running the game on PC, getting items for a completionist run-through, and chasing top scores in the racing minigame, along with a couple of other tricks. Well, if you want to play the game, the first thing you will have to do is to get it to work on your PC or get a hold of it on consoles. You can actually try out Uplay Plus until the end of September, and Beyond Good and Evil is included with that free trial. So you can try out the game for free right now. Even then, you will most likely need some mods to get the game working on your computer. I found this thread on Steam to be the most helpful guide to getting the game working well. And although it's not guaranteed to get BG&E running on your system, it's a great starting point. The link will be in the description below. I've gotten the game to work for me again by following that guide almost completely, but I turn off all of the sliders under the Advanced Settings tab in the game's launcher, and I always have to uncheck the Auto-Gen Mip-Map box manually before I start the game. Once I did that, the game continued to run smoothly again. Once you complete the initial quest to the Black Isle, you will be given a city pass that gives you access to Mingzu's shop. She's got some great stuff in there, especially if you're trying to 100% the game without the use of online guides. The Animal Detector, Pearl Detector, and Strengthened Super Attack all give you a nice edge throughout the game. The Animal Detector gives you the general area of where you will be able to find an animal that you have not taken a photo of. The Pearl Detector does the same thing, except it shows you where to find pearls in a given area. The Strengthened Super Attack is just helpful in fights with a lot of enemies, as you are able to use it to stun Alpha Section guards and even take them out if you hit their breathing tanks. For anyone interested, there are a couple of completionist rewards in Beyond Good and Evil. If you are diligent to photograph all of the species that inhabit Hillis, you will receive a special M-Disc where you can view all of your pictures. And if you obtain all of the pearls in the game, you will receive another special M-Disc with a pearl minigame on it that is quite tough. It would be a lot easier with 2 players, but I'm not sure if it was intended to be played that way. If you've gotten to the end of the game and noticed that you have never found the code that opens up this locker in the Akuta bar, then this tip is for you. The game used to have a web page where people would enter their game's internet code in order to complete a little mission and receive a 4-digit code to then open this locker. Sadly, that website is down right now, but there are still a couple of places you can go to enter your own game's internet code and receive the key code to open the locker. Those sites will be linked in the description below. You will then receive the M-Disc that contains a virtual copy of the disc game with added settings and difficulties. You can actually set up the game for 2 computers to play against each other. You can use a charge shot setting where you control the speed of your disc throws, and there is even a setting that allows you to change what disc you are currently throwing. It's a fun addition, but I wish I would have found this little nugget a whole lot sooner because the disc game against Francis was so tough. I could have used some practice. And that brings me to another tip. So I had to play the disc game a lot, and if you were trying to get all the pearls, then you will need to beat Francis twice throughout your adventure. Here's my general advice. Make slower, more intentional throws. This advice was given to me from someone on the Reddit after they watched one of my videos, and it helped a lot. If you are playing on PC, move the mouse through your shots, pointing in the direction you want the disc to go. Also, don't waste a shot you know you can't make. If you've got a disc in this corner, then there's no reason to go for the hole. Instead, shoot it down closer to this corner before going for the center. This video would be incomplete if I did not mention anything about the hovercraft, races, and looter caves. Crimping Madness from the Discord and Reddit community shared that you can actually enter a first-person view while in the vehicle if you use your compass during the races and looter caves. For one, it's a fun way to experience this content, and 2, you just might find this a helpful way to time your turns and jumps to break those first-place records and make it through some of the toughest looter caves. In general, I found that the hovercraft handles best with this first-person view along with this technique. I do not use the mouse to steer, and I do not use W when moving forward. I only use A and D to turn, while I hold down the space bar for speed. To get the fastest times, you then need to practice laying off the gas when you turn for just a second before kicking it into gear again. This should give you some of the best results in races and looter caves. So do you have any tips or tricks that I did not cover here? Show some love for the game down in the comments below and on the Reddit page. Don't forget that there is a Discord community that's hanging out while they wait for the new game. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video at all, or a dislike if you didn't. Thanks for watching, and be back for the next one if you want to hear more about Beyond Good and Evil 2.